In the history of American finance, few stories capture the imagination like that of Edward Townsend Stotesbury. A man whose rise from humble Quaker roots to the pinnacle of Wall Street is nothing short of legendary. Born in 1849 in the bustling heart of Philadelphia, Stotesbury's tale is one of remarkable transformation, embodying the American dream in its purest form. In an era where the American economy was growing exponentially, Stotesbury entered the world of finance as a young man with a sharp mind and unyielding work ethic. His early days at Drexel & Company, and later J.P. Morgan & Company, were characterized by an almost obsessive attention to detail and punctuality, traits that propelled him to the forefront of banking. He wasn't just a banker, he was a financial visionary, playing a crucial role in projects with global implications, including the groundbreaking International Chinese Loan of 1909. Yet Stotesbury's story transcends the confines of finance. His passion for the arts and architecture manifested in his role in Philadelphia's cultural scene and his grand architectural projects. Alongside his second wife Eva Roberts Cromwell, he embarked on creating architectural wonders such as Whitemarsh Hall and El Mirasol. These weren't just mere buildings, they were a fusion of art, architecture, and ambition, reflecting the era's grandeur. But of all of his celebrated contributions, one remained a white elephant. In 1927, the couple purchased an existing cottage in Bar Harbor, Maine, and hired the architecture firm of Magaziner, Eberhard and Harris to transform it into a palatial estate. The 80-room Wingwood House would be equipped with only the most modern technology of the time, including 52 telephones, 56 wall heaters, and 28 bathrooms. Furthermore, dozens of antique fireplaces and furniture pieces were imported from Europe to further finish the mansion. All modern amenities aside, there was a major problem. When they hired the architects, the Stotesburys had asked them to copy elements from other homes they liked, including the Derby Summer House and the Nichols Sortwell House. Even though money wasn't an issue, the architects gave them watered-down versions of the elements they liked, crudely copying and pasting them onto the design almost haphazardly. This resulted in an ill-proportioned mansion with a confusing and misleading layout. In the center of the street-facing facade, below the two-story colonnade, you would assume this is the front door, crowned by a Palladian window. Oddly enough, the door was fake and the entrance was actually on the left wing of the house. Looking at the floor plan, you can see this played out. Entering below the porte-cochere, you would have to wind your way down long galleries to find the entrance hall. As we enter the mansion from the porte-cochere, we make our way down a long gallery, passing by 18th century benches until we are forced to turn right. After making an immediate left, you would find the grand staircase tucked away behind an archway, and while it might be beautiful in its own right, it was criticized for not being impactful enough for a house of this magnitude. After continuing down the hall and hooking another right, you would eventually find your way to the Great Hall, finished out in Georgian green paint with green sofas. The stairway you see towards the rear of the room backs directly to the fake front door we saw outside. To one side is the dining room, clad in painted wall panels rising 12 feet towards the ceiling. From the oversized antique furniture to the portraits on the wall, the esteemed Lord Devine had been contracted to import and furnish the room as he saw fit. To the other side of the Great Hall, the older portion of the house had been renovated to do away with the charming arts and crafts drawing room. When the architects had finished renovating it, the original space was almost unrecognizable as it had been replaced by the green drawing room, carrying inconsistent themes from French styling. Continuing with this eclectic assortment of rooms, the Chippendale study contained more decor items than books. While there should have been bookcases flanking the antique English mantel, the architects hardly considered the purpose of the room. Further adding to the confusion, the garden room, which was the largest in the house, measuring 60 feet long with barrel-vaulted ceilings, was confined to a single wing of the house beyond a small opening in another room. Though, not all was lost on the confusing layout and misappropriation of proportions. The garden room boasted a rudimentary surround sound system and was large enough to double as a ballroom. The mansion continued on with long galleries. As you would wind your way through the labyrinth on the second floor, you would find small sitting rooms crammed with furniture and large bedroom suites with their own private sitting rooms and high ceilings. Hallways were rich with staircases and balconies, but poor with purpose. Just to find one of the guest rooms, you could be forced to walk hundreds of feet winding from one end of the house to the other. After Edward's passing in 1938, Wingwood, along with his other mansions, were all left to his wife Eva. She had no use for the mansion and sold it. It then changed hands a few times until 1952, when the Canadian National Railroad acquired it for use as a ferry terminal. The company's architects and engineers were unable to make sense of the mansion's confusing layout, and after running some numbers, decided it would be most fiscally sensible to demolish Wingwood and build a new structure in its place. Since then, the entire site has been completely paved over, leaving no trace of the Stotesburys' Wingwood. We've covered the Stotesburys in the past. If you would like to see more of their most famous mansion, Whitemarsh Hall, click on the video at the end of this one. But first, let me know what your thoughts are about Wingwood down in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of this house.